Hi, good morning, everyone. Good morning from Brazil to everyone. So, good evening from Mumbai, India. Oh, good evening. So, everybody who is here today, please feel free to write on the comments where are you from and what is your motivation to be here today. My name is Luisa. I am a medical physicist from Brazil. I work at a company called Escla, who present some services to radiation oncology. This is the first chat we will be doing for this year's celebration from International Day of Medical Physicists. Maybe we will present some lower connection, so if in case we have some delay on the connection, please don't leave us. Just have the patience to wait. So we will start in a few minutes. As I said before, this is the first talk. We will have two more, one in September and another in October, with another two great leaders that are very kind to give a talk to us. Today, our talk is about OpenIA, Let's Chat GPT, Nurturing Future Medical Physicists. And I am very happy to present my colleague from our group, from the group of leadership and mentoring medical physicists, Dr. Ike Hall, who have been doing a really great job as a leader for us. So today he will share his experiences. I'm gonna make a quick presentation from him. So so a quick biography because I know that he has much more work to share here with us, but to not take further longer here. So Dr. Eichel is a radiation oncology medical physicist in the clinical oncology unit from University of Malaysia. He is also a senior lecturer in the Faculty of Medicine from the same university. He served as radiation oncology medical physicist in the Department of Radiotherapy and Oncology from Hospital and National Cancer Institute. He was assistant director at Medical Radiation Surveillance Division, a national regulatory body and regulating radiation in medicine. He also served as physics advisor editors for medical dosimetry, reviewers. He is a reviewer and member of editorial board from several international peer-reviewed journals. He is also the newly elected Secretary General of AFOMPI from the team of 2023-2025. So congratulations for this new achievement. And he's also a member of our group, the Leadership and Mentoring of Medical Physicists. And today he will share with us his accomplishments and also his trajectory from here, from the point of view of a leader. Today, this year, we have as team from the International Day of Medical Physics the logo, the team from Standing on the Shoulders of Giants. So this is a talk with someone that is being a really giant for us, and we a person who I personally look for to see the new accomplishments. I'm very happy to hear, and the screen is all yours. I will um, close my mic here, and please leave all your questions on the comments that I will be reading after. So thank you so much. You can start, and then I will continue.
Thank you very much, Luisa, my friends, colleagues, and for inviting me to share with everyone about these topics. Open AI, let's check GPT, nurturing for, future medical physicists. Before I start, probably can I have a quick chat? I see there are still 44 participants waiting at the uh, over at the YouTube channel. So are we? Is it everything? Everyone is ready for this talk?
Yeah, whenever you want.
Okay. So yes, thank you very much, everyone, for joining us these today's and good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. So this is a global initiative by the Medical Physics Leadership and Mentoring Programs members initiated by Luisa this time. We are actually together with our MP celebrating IDMP International Day of Medical Physics 2023. So with the theme of standing on the shoulders of giants, as Lisa mentioned just now, uh, we are actually very lucky at our generations where a lot of fantastic work has been done by our seniors, our leaders in the medical physics, and they've done fantastic job and paved the way for us so that we can move together, work together at a easier and at a more systematic way. So thank you very much. And today is my great pleasure to share with you about these topics and how to use these generative AIs, the artificial intelligence in our daily life, and with a point to nurture our future medical physicists. Before I start, can I have a quick chat because we are going to use uh, uh, survey tools, Slido.com for my presentations. If you don't mind, can you please use your mobile phones or any devices to scan the QR code or join the Slido.com, key in the numbers so that you can input your answers in this platform. Okay, I can see some are coming. Okay, so please key in which country are you from. So you got friends from Malaysia, Thailand, Brazil. Okay, so mainly this is to test our slider whether it's working or not. Please use your mobile phones or any devices to scan the QR code and key in the questions. So got friend from Taiwan. Thank you very much. Okay, so very good. Right, seems it's working. So I hope can get more participants later on for the question quiz later on. All right, we have Colombia's. Right. Thank you, everyone. So just a disclosure of the for this presentation, there are nothing to declare for this presentation, and part of the presentation slides were generated using the AI, such as ChatGPT and Google Slide. So as we all know, in our medical physics daily life, we are actually surrounded by a lot of AI tools. So as you can see around the world, the media covering a lot of AI's issues or news. AI is making Washington smarter. So AI is to drive China's new wave of tech revolutions, industrial transformations, the people's daily says. And in tech, everything is labeled AI now. So we can't run away with AI's thingy. And AI chatbots are spreading fast. As you can see, even people are using ChatGPT and listed them as an author in one of the research paper. So which is a controversy and a lot of heavy discussion is ongoing now. So now, how familiar are you with these generative AI? So please feel free to participate again with these questions, survey. So we can see now most of you all, I've tried some of these tools, heard of it, yet to use it. So I think majority will be agree with me. I have tried some of these tools, which is actually most of us will be actually surrounded by with these tools. Thank you very much, everyone, for your participations. So as you can see, generative AI. So McKinsey defines this generative AI as the algorithm, such as ChatGPT, that can be used to create new content, including audio, code, images, text, simulations, and videos. So as you can see, the Apple image on top there. So there is a missing part of this Apple where we can use AI tools in order to simulate, in order to create the new image from these partial image that available now. So it is very powerful that is out sometimes it's out of our imagination. The system generates text or images using its previously built model of the statistical distribution of tokens. So if you can imagine that all these words or punctuations marks, pixels has been putting into chunks and there is involvement of a big set of data set which are involved in these AI tools development. So just imagine with this AI tools development, we need a big data set. So this data set can be added as a training data. So the data will be used to train the model in order to build the system, whereby portion of this data can be used as the testing data in order to check the accuracy of this system. So basically, this is the foundations the basic of to build these AI tools in general. So, for example, if you have bundles of ultrasound images and you want to make an AI tools to auto classify lesions using these ultrasound image. So before that, you have to collect a big chunk of ultrasound images, make a proposed quantifications, and you use this data set as a training data set, then you build the system. And in the same times, you have a few data for you to use as a testing in order to test accuracy. So there are a lot of AI tools around us, and today we are particularly talk about ChatGPT, which is developed by OpenAI. And beside this, we have bundles of it. For example, Bing Chat, and also Bart. So if you scan the QR code here, you can have a list of the AI tool which is available and which might be beneficial to all of you. So have a go with it. So a general statistic that we can come across, ChatGPT was launched in 2022's late November, and within 2 months' time, the users rise up to 100 millions. And we are expecting with this generative AI, 30% of the new drugs and materials will be systematically discovered by 2025. And these will further reduce the cost and the time in this drugs discoveries process. And more than 15% new applications will be automatically generated by AI without a human in the loop by 2027. And more than 110 billions dollars will be involved in this market by the end of the decades. So it is a huge amount of money and huge a big impact to our economy and society as well. So keep an eye on that. So for medical physics per se, in our daily life, in our routines, works, what can we do to use these tools, and how can I utilize these tools in order to improve work efficiency? So for Chat GPTs per se, I started to try to explore it and try to use it in my daily life. So, for example, today, so I was asked to deliver to prepare a short biography. So I just log into the Chat GPTs and please, I key into the system, write a 3 sentences biography of myself, medical physicist and a senior lecturer at University Malaya. And within a few seconds, the system will pop up with the answers. So it make actually I have spent less time in order to prepare this and improve the efficiency of my works. And sometimes it can be impressive of the description. But anyhow, I have to be cautious about to use this ChatGPT because what it has been provided here is based on the training data set which is available in their system. So sometimes it can be inaccurate. So I have to read again in order to make sure and to clarify or to correct it wherever is related. So be cautious on what it already produced by the ChatGPT. Second example is when I need to give a presentation, and this is totally new to me. So I asked ChatGPT create presentation slide about this topic, and within a few seconds as well, it will comes up with 10 slides of proposer of the slides content. For example, slide one will be about this content, slide number two will be about this content, and etc. And further on, I can use another AI tools in order to create these presentation slide because the limitations of this chat GPT is just a chatbot. So it mainly is using the text. So in order to accommodate this text into the presentation slide, we have to use another tools for these purposes. The same things, if you want to create an image using these kind of AI tools, we have to use another software. For example, DALL-E 2 in order to create the images that we want. Another good things about these tools is sometimes we might be frozen with ideas, and when we need to do brainstormings, we can ask ChatGPTs to generate. For example, in this, I want to celebrate International Medical Physics Days. Give 5 text lines for IDMP. So of course, here are the 5 text lines generated by the ChatGPTs within a few seconds, radiating excellence, empowering health through medical physics innovations, position in practice, celebrating the vital roles of medical physics in healthcare, and etc. I think you agree with me that these are the very fantastic idea. Okay, and of course, our life is surrounded by AI tools, and some of us might be wanted to embark on this AI development. So as using this code, we'll be able to ask the chat GPTs to provide a simple codings for us to use either in Pythons or any others programming software. For example, in this example, I'm providing create a data visualizations using the Python library in order to print out the output. So within a few seconds as well, it automatically generate this Python coding. And with the copy mode copy the code here, the simple icon, I can copy and paste into the Python's programming, and easily I can uh, having this coding into the Python programming. So have a goals with this code generation as well. Of course, if there is a ChatGPT is also having a newer premium versions where it involves a lot of plugins to ease the user's daily life. So, for example, Zapier's Milo Family AIs and etc. And all this is can be applied in order to manage the works that we are having now. So it is a very vast application so far. So I'm not an expert in these chat GPTs. Of course, some of you may be the expert or even use it more than me. But I would like to encourage everyone, scan the QR code here to be able to participate in the next 5 days IOMP, IUP, SM's ISC joint webinar, practical deep dive on chat GPTs. And I believe that these webinars will be able to give more in-depth descriptions and share the vast experience of these speakers about chat GPTs. So remember, scan the QR code here and you'll be able to have the registration link, and please go for it. As we know that there are some issues and limitations that unavoidable when using these AI tools. Ultimately, it's just AI tools or tools that ease our daily works. So we have to keep in mind that the quality of the response will depend on the accuracy and details of the input descriptions. So we have to be very careful to put in the requests or the input into the chat GPT. For example, example of the biography. So I just simply put my name and my affiliations, and without any further details, the ChatGPT, as usual, will generate in a few seconds for the biography. But this time, I become the environmental scientist, not the medical physicist anymore. So everyone have to be cautious on this. Others about talk about ethical issues, whether it is ethical in the educations. So a vast or heavy discussions has been happens around Earth, and I believe that some of the students they might use Chat GPTs or other AI tools in their write up. So personally, I think this is okay to do that because sometimes we might be need these kind of tools in order to embark on the write up process. But ultimately, we have to be clear that it's just an AI tools where what you provide, the output is based on what you have provided. So be careful on what is generated and be careful on what to adopt in your write-up. Make sure that you've checked and clarified what has been written so that you are clear on what you're writing and you understand and able to explain what you have learned and explain to the examiners. So in general, be ethical to use and if possible to declare in your reports that you are using AI tools part of your preparation of the reports. And information about less human-centric services. As a medical physicist, we know that we are working in the clinical setup, and we have to be interact sometimes directly or indirectly with the patients, and all this we need to be human centric enough so that we can customize on what is needed by the patients. As we know that healthcare professionals is a healer for the patients because we are not we are how we talk to the patients, how we communicate with our surrounding people is very important. So with this AI, sometimes it is a bit challenging. Another worry is about job displacement. Are we going to lose our job? So this is still unclear. But anyway, it just in general, as we expected from one of the literature review publications, there are a few tasks which might be need to adapt or adopt themselves to the new environment. So that, for example, data entry analysis, customer support, content creation, programming and development, they have to be incorporate AIs into their jobs perspective and be able to make their self importance and valuable in this work process. So upskills and reskills will be the ultimate goals for us now to be able to perform in the newly days. And of course, as a medical physicist, are these AI tools is going to replace our daily jobs, for example, in quality controls of the machines and etc. Dosimetry works that we perform on the patients, on the machines, treatment planning process, as we know that some of the AIs based TPS already in the market. So are they going to be fully automated by using the AI tools? How about the calibrations of the devices? And how about the incident management? So as we know that some of the very powerful AI tools is in the market in order to identify, like for example, patients identifications in order to ensure that to avoid any mistreatments or wrong treatments to the patients. So this we have to be putting in mind. And the most important skill of this century that published by these technology publications is your work future could depends on how well you can talk to AI. This is not joking. So it means that how we can communicate with AI by using these programming. So there are some potential jobs maybe into the market. So for example, AI consultants, machine learning specialists, AI prompts engineers, explainable AI expert. So now we have to think, how can we strategize ourselves in the current scenario to adapt ourselves or nurture our future medical physicists in collaborations with these technologies? We cannot be run away. And from one the quote from one of the famous biologists, Charles Darwin, he mentioned that it is not the strongest of the species that survive, nor the most intelligent that survive. It is the one that is most adaptable to change. So the keyword here is adaptable to change. We need to have a skill and intelligence to do that. Stephen Hawking also mentioned this. Intelligence is the ability to adapt to change. So there are four main types of intelligence that we mentioned here: IQ, EQ, SQ, and AQ. So there are a few more surrounding us. But IQ is mainly on the comprehensions abilities that we're able to solve the mathematics, memorize things, and recall subject matters. The EQ is how we maintain our peace with others. We'll be able to perform ourselves as professionals, keep the times, be responsible, be honest, and be integrities, and be humble. And for social questions, it is abilities to build a network of friends and maintains it over a longer period of time. So this is how we maintain our group. Like for example, the Global Medical Physics Leadership and Mentoring Group, how we maintain ourselves as a friends, as well as peers and mentors among us. So it is a skill that we have to maintain it. And the last one is the adversities questions, which is the ability for us to go through a rough path in life and come out without losing your mind. So this is it is challenging our intelligence in order to to be able to solve the problems. So we need to consider about some important soft skills or that we to be embedded with our generation as well as the future generations. For example, critical thinking and problem solving skill, emotional intelligence, interpersonal and communication skills, adaptabilities and learning agility, and technicals and digital literacy. So all these are very important, and I will go through one by one. As we know that education is the basis of a human development. Without a proper and a strong, high quality educations, we might lose. our next generation might be able to cope with the challenges. So, as a medical physicist, as a educational institution, we promise to provide high quality educational programs and training opportunities for the aspiring medical physicists. So we have to continuous reviews our syllabus, providing the up-to-date uh, knowledge to the students, and as well as to create a good environment for the students to learn together. Of course, for some university that having challenges for the clinicals or medical institutions assess, so collaborate with these medical institutions will be the ultimate will be very important for the hands-on training as well as research opportunities. Of course, with the educations and trainings, we need to further and widen the field of the exposures of these students. Research and innovations may be another platforms to venture with the students in order to provide an organic research environment for the encouraging more medical physics research work to be done. From these research works, we know that there are some clinical questions that need to be addressed so that the students will be able to think critically and will be able to solve these clinical questions. Of course, we have to be actively collaborate with others academic, clinical, or research centers locally as well as globally. So widen our view so that we can complement each others. Of course, with this critical thinking skill, there are several steps that we need to follow. The first is we'll be able to notice and predict what opportunities and problems are within our in front of us and the potential solution. Then we have to gather all these informations and understand all these informations. Then we have to interpret all these in order to make conclusions and decisions so that based on the experience and the knowledge that we have. Further on, once the decision has been made, communications will be the most important so that people around you know what you want to do, what is your decision, whether it's feasible or not, uh, whether it is suitable to that kind of situation. So the continuous communications and feedbacks from the people around you, from your peers or mentors, is are most important, so that the decisions can be executed in a optimum way. Of course, with this, we'll be able to solve problems in a more professionals way. Another thing to think about is about how the emotional intelligence would take into place. I think most importantly, now today we are very rushing, and one of the key intelligence that we have to practice here is to practice our active listening skill. So hearing beyond people's word, it is involved fully attuning to what is being communicated, including the contents of the message and the attitude that underlies it. So as you can see, I'm sharing one of the Chinese characters here, listen. So this Chinese character means listen. It comprises of the five components: the ears, the eyes, want, the heart, and the king. Listen with your ears to hear with empathy. Listen with your eyes to see the body language. And listen with your heart with your compassion. And listen to the king, who is the person who is speaking. And listen in one focus without or undivided attentions. So these characters really taught us on how can this active listening should be done. So we also have to be aware and about our emotions, able to identify so that these emotions can be controlled. And with these emotions, maybe we can increase our self awareness and the abilities to introduce to a positive changes in our life. And of course, with the open mindset, we open to feedbacks from others so that you know from others that when you are in the critical or emotional situations, what are the things that can be corrected. Interpersonal and communication skill will be another important skill among us. As you can see that the younger generations, they are very good in ITs and everywhere. Even myself, we are holding a handphone all the time in order to catch up with the social medias, with the messagings, and even to work. So can we set ourselves a timeline or set ourselves a rules that when we talk to peoples, we have to practice an intelligence discussions. And another point is, are we ready to be discussed with our colleagues, such as a surgeon, radiologists, or these technologists, nurses, in order to be able to discuss confidently and professionally in one of the multi disciplinary board, tumor board, so that we can provide our comments and suggestions, so that it will be more meaningful and making an impact to the patient's care. In terms of the research, effective communications are most important in terms of verbal and written. So we have to be communicate amongst the peers, reviewers, funding agency, as well as our colleagues, in order to know what you're doing. So we can either using journal articles or other channels for the communications. And nowadays, we can't deny that social media will be another important channels for us to communicate what we are doing to a wider audience. So keep an eye, and if possible, we can use these channels. Sometimes can be free of charge to make our works visible, so that more people can knowing you what you are doing, and maybe can enhance or maybe can extend the collaborations or cooperations with you in the future. As you know that WAPMs, they have launched with these medical physics 3.0 in practice, and one of the important launch of the initiative was about physics direct patients care. So the goals are to establish an independent professionals relationship with the patient, as well as to meet the patients regularly and to take the ownership of all technical aspects related to the treatment, as well as to lay the groundwork for futures innovations and patients' responsibility. So this opened a new page for medical physics services for now, where in future we may be having our medical physics clinic providing professionals uh, or expertise advices to the patients in the near futures. The next one is adaptability and learning agility. So we'll be able to adapt and learning in a fast way and make a speed of fast decisions. So we have to think now out of the box and beyond our narrow confine of our own discipline. So we have to expand our collaborations with the chemistry people, molecular biology, and other subjects, which maybe become relevant depending on which area of innovation that we decided to involve with. Cross fertilizations between various disciplines often yield innovative ideas as well. So as you can see, for drug discoveries and bioinformatics, synthetic biology, and etc., all these might need to have a multidisciplinary approach in order to make this innovation happen. Of course, we encourage everyone to involve in any of the local, regional, or international activities, so that we will have international collaborations and exchanges with other medical physicists professionals and organizations worldwide. And this will allow our young medical physicists to learn from others uh, at different part of the world. Of course, I will really encourage everyone to be engaged and participate, as well as volunteer yourself in one or any of the professionals, associations, or societies at the local, regional, and global level. For example, at the international level, we have the International Organizations for Medical Physics, our MP, where a lot of webinars, activities is organized by these international bodies. For example, at the Asia Oceania regions, we are having AFOMS, Asia Ocean, at the Asian Oceania level. And for the Southeast Asia, we have CFOMS. And for Americas, we have the WAPMs. European, we have e-forms. For Middle East, we have me-forms, Africa, as well as Latin America. So with these organizations and societies, will be able to network and participate in one of the conferences, workshops, and exposed to the latest development in the field and building a sense of community. And I would really encourage to contact or volunteer yourself in any of these organizations. You can actually email to me to express your interest in volunteering. We will really encourage to be work together with us in some of the task group, for example, diversity, equities, and inclusiveness, as well as young chapters in some of these international organizations. As you can see, we are working together with the international leaders at the IOMPs, where it is now the chance for us to work together uh, with the international leaders so that we can actually disseminate having our professionals at setting our standard at the global skills so that all of us are trying uh, to be achieving the same standard and ultimately. So please email me or any of the officers to express your interest. Another point is to foster the partnership between the academia and the industrial to expose the young medical physicists to be able to cope with the real world challenges and advancement. So this is able, I think, around us there are a lot of vendors or that industrial which is happy to accommodate this kind of collaborations. Please engage with them. So, of course, as educational institutions, we have to reform our educational curriculums by embracing contemporary sciences, for example, AI in one of as one of the subjects. Also to be actively participate in some of the CPDs or the conferences around the regions or international activities. Like forthcoming, we are AFOMS is organizing this AFOMS monthly webinar. So please scan the QR code here in order for you to attend, register yourself to attend this kind of conference webinars. So keep an eye with the websites of any of the organizations for the updates. In 2016, Professor Ng has initiated a global leadership and mentoring group for young medical physicists, and he is passionate to be with us. Thanks to Professor Ng to share his inspirations and leadership and show the pathway, paying a tribute to his mentor, late Professor John Cameron, to continue his legacy. So the motivations is desire to encourage young people to grow in their studies, life choices, and the objective of this mentoring group is to develop leadership roles among young medical physicists and to provide guidance and support for young medical physicists by creating an atmosphere of openness where the meaningful communications and trust can be achieved. So we are honored to have the four founding mentors, Professor Ng, Professor Gerard, Professor Kron, and Professor Biza. And we have 12 founding members around the world. So from time to time, our group has grown, and now we have a few more joining, and our mentors group already also expanded, and we usually communicate through WhatsApp and emails. And if you are intense or interested to join us, please feel free to email me or Professor Ng with your intentions. We're happy to accommodate to join us. We usually will meet physical or through online sessions, and these are some of the photos that we took during the meetings. And during the teleconference, we actually organized ourselves with we brought the teachers from different areas and countries who volunteered to guide participants through video platform meetings and share their personal professional trajectories their experiences as leaders and advisors to achieve professional goals, professional and personal goals. So here are the mentors that already have had the webinars and guiding session with us. So please follow us on the social medias, Facebook, Twitters, and our YouTube channel. And we also collaborate in some of the scientific writings or publications. Here are some of the examples. And I would like, before I end my talk, I'd like to quote Professor Ng's motivations quote. Set your eyes on your aspirations and be courageous even if the path is turbulent. Adapt to changes, but always be a person of integrity. So is very meaningful to any of us here to be able to adapt ourselves to the changes, fast changing era now. We have to be fast to adapt ourselves in order to make ourselves valuable in the coming generation. So be open-minded and acquire intelligence. Let's chat about grooming a potential young talents in medical physics. And this is why I would like to collaborate our topics of the discussion today, open AI, less chat GPTs as the ending remarks for my talk today. Before I end, please allow me have a quick publications of promotions of the coming ICMP International Conference on Medical Physics 2023 in conjunction with the MPCon, AOCMP, and ICCOMS 2023. We will be held in Mumbai from 6 to 9 of December this year. And then one coming next year is I'm glad to present to you the next year's AOCMP and CCOM will be in Malaysia. So we hope to see you in Penang. Please scan the QR code as you can see from here. Please follow us at the from the social media, for example, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, or LinkedIn, and hashtag your photos or any of your stories using the hashtag AOCMP 2024 here. So I hope to see you again soon. So on the 7th November of this year or every year, we are celebrating International Day of Medical Physics. So, and as I know, this is a serious webinar organized by the group to celebrate this International Day of Medical Physics. So I would like to present to you the winner of the poster for the IDMP 2023 this year. So you can having this poster in any of the social medias of the IOMP. So standing on the shoulders of giants, be honors and be appreciate the contribution that all the giants has done for us, and be ready for the next giants for all of you. So thank you very much for your attention. I'll pass back to you, Lisa.
Hi, everyone. I'm not sure if you are being able to see me. I hope yes.
Yes, I can
So
see
please,
you.
if you could, oh, good. Please, if you could still put your presentation so we have a background, I think it will be better. So we have a
Okay.
couple questions from the audience. The first one is, what data sets will be used by ChatGPT, whether it will be MRI image or CT or PET images? I don't know if you can see
Oh,
this question is on it there on the comments. I think it's a general question about GPT.
okay. We'll be able to share the screen of these questions.
It's on the comments.
Okay. In general, ChatGPT is a chatbot, so it can only produce text. So unfortunately, the images. The question was about the images, right?
Yes, yes.
So I think it's irrelevant when we are using ChatGPTs. We are only able to deal with the text. So the text is actually they have combined with a big data set, and they use large language LLMs to in order to train the systems in order to be able to talk to us as a user.
Good. Uh, I agree with what you said about the ability we need to have to be able to adapt ourselves in our team, in our group, in our work, and in our life. So for me, this is the most important ability we need to have. And I'm wondering what is the most important ability for a leader, in your opinion?
I think I think ultimately the attitude should be correct. Everything start with the attitudes. So if the attitude is correct, then the pathway is open for you.
Always say yes.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Lisa.
good. And we have a couple more questions. So, how could you make sure that the security when using ChatGPT, especially when uploading data and good suggestions? So, I think this about security is something everybody is a little worried. And also when we talk about that maybe we will lose our jobs for IA, which I don't believe it's true. I think it's a tool that we need to implement. It's here for help and need a human supervisor. So, what's your opinion about?
I think the ChatGPT have made clear when you log in, then they will pop up with the disclaimer that this is something that you should be aware of. So it's still a platforms, AI tools for you to use. They are not going to take any responsibility on the output of what has been generated. So be cautious on what you have input, and of course be cautious that in the sense of some will advise not to include those sensitive data or any words that mentioning any particular sensitive features. Or so I think we have to be vigilant on the data that we input. So patient data is a no-no, definitely.
Nice, nice. I have one more question here. Um, so, how do you motivate yourself and your team when we have, as an example, that we have the pandemic and it was hard for everybody? How do you kept motivated during these tough times?
Right. I think I hope the shadow already over when the WHO yeah, just I think the pandemic's times is over, and of
Yeah,
course
yeah, but
we have to be
not as an
vigilant.
example, you know.
We have to be vigilant and prepare ourselves anytime that the next pandemic maybe happens. We are not sure, so just to get ready. One of the key things that we need to be keep ourselves and our team motivated. I think communications will be very important. People as a leaders, people is knowing what is your ultimate aims and your goals, what is your strategies in order to achieve our daily jobs or our daily goals. So the communications with the team members is utmost important. So with that, I think we can keep our team understand and be aware of what we are doing, so that to keep everybody on the same page, so that we are doing the same we are moving to the same directions. So I think that's one. Second one is, I think everybody have to be uh, uh, understand that in these kind of situations it is not easy for everyone. So it's always a challenge, not only in the workplace, as a family, as a friends, and etc. We have we are wearing multiple cap among us. So be vigilant and do what you can, and do understand and be passionate in doing what you're doing.
Good. So I'm thank you for all your time and support. Thank you for accept my invitation and to be here with us today. We
Yeah.
are um,
Yeah. Can I
coming to the end. Sure,
yeah,
sure.
just wondering, are we um, can we invite some of our mentees to share their experiences if they are in the studio?
Yeah. Uh, for now, I'm not sure because we are already getting close to the end,
Hmm.
but we will have a talk on September, another one in October, in November for the day of International Day of Medical Physicists. I'm hoping to get a few of them to give a live talk.
That's great.
Yeah,
So thank you very much for inviting me, and thanks to all the
thank
audience
you.
for joining us today. Happy International Day of Medical Physics 2023.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. It's really nice to see everybody here today. And please join us also in September. We will be sending the invitation soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a nice day, everyone.